Now let's look at some uses of the imperfect tense. The imperfect tense expresses actions, circumstances, events, situations which are repeated or continuous or even habitual in the past. All right, it's not what you're doing now, it's what you used to do, normally do, would do in the past. All right. First instance, the imperfect describes what was happening, used to happen, or happened repeatedly in the past. Example, les enfants jouaient. The children were playing. So that was happening at a certain amount of time in the past. J'habitais Paris, or j'habitais à Paris. I lived, in other words, I used to live in Paris. Elle lisait un livre chaque jour. She read, she would read, she used to read a book every day. So, how do you know to use the imperfect tense versus the passé composé? You should be able to interchange used to and it have the same meaning. That is how you know whether you're to use. That's one way of knowing whether you're to use the imperfect tense or the passé composé. If you're saying she read, you should be able to interchange would read or used to read and it still give the same meaning. All right. Other uses of the imperfect tense include describing persons, things, or conditions in the past. All right. So note that the imperfect tense is usually equivalent to was or were in something. So the was or were in form of the verb. So used to or would meaning used to in English. All right. So example, describing the weather. Il faisait froid. Describing someone, il était beau. La fenêtre était ouverte. All right, so you're describing the scene. All right. Another instance, the imperfect tense is used to express the day, months, or time of day in the past. C'était samedi. It was Saturday. So why you see it was? Because you're still describing or you're expressing date, time, or months in the past. You would use the imperfect tense, all right? Usually it was. C'était samedi, c'était le mois de juin, il était 9 heures, all right? So notice you're saying the time right here. Present tense, il est 9 heures. It is 9 o'clock. Il était 9 heures quand j'avais ma classe, when I had French class or regular class. Next instance, the imperfect tense describes a situation or circumstance that was going on in the past when some single action or event occurred. This action or event is expressed in the passé composé. Example, je réparais, imperfect tense, le moteur quand le téléphone a sonné. So notice the passé composé right here, two-part verb. Réparer, one-part verb. So this was happening and then this happened. So I was fixing the motor when the telephone rang. Next example, il pleuvait quand j'ai ouvert, passé composé, la porte. It was raining when I opened the door. All right, next point. Two actions going on simultaneously in the past are both in the imperfect tense. Just like the example I gave you. Il était 9 heures quand j'avais ma classe. It was 9 o'clock when I had my class. All right, so look at their example. Il jouait pendant j'étudiais. All right, so these are both happening at the same time. He played while I studied. Pendant que, right? Pendant que je parlais, elle riait beaucoup. While I was talking, she was laughing.